Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bros Pod, episode 12. We are your hosts, Justin.
And I'm John. What is up? How you doing, bro?
Oh, doing great, man. Happy Monday. Had a very exciting week, man. We had 7 subscribers this week, so just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much. We are one away from 50, so if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please be number 50. We want you guys to know we really appreciate it, and we're so excited to see this channel grow. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. John, how's your week going so far?
It's been good. It was a pretty low-key weekend for us, but we watched some good movies. Things wanted to touch on. I got Amanda to watch Goodfellas for the first time, which we're gonna have to discuss Goodfellas. We had a whole
Do
mafia
it.
Italian date night. We made some homemade pappardelle. We did some seafood, some cannoli, and I was like,
Mm.
you know what? If you haven't seen Goodfellas, we're watching Goodfellas. And that is just an amazing movie. It's intense, but it's like so fucking funny throughout it as well. It's got an insane cast. The soundtrack is amazing. I just love
Iconic.
it. Like it's got to be a top 10 movie of all time for me.
Sure, yeah.
And then it put me into a mafia mood. I'm like, okay, we got to watch A Bronx Tale next because to
Mm.
me, I think I like A Bronx Tale more than Goodfellas,
Love
honestly.
A Bronx Tale. So good.
Yeah, it really is.
So underrated. Not many people know about it too.
Yeah,
Like when you're talking mobster flicks, obviously everybody knows Goodfellas,
Goodfellas,
Scarface, The Godfather, but like nobody,
Casino,
yeah,
yeah.
Casino, but nobody really chops it up with A Bronx Tale. It's fucking amazing.
Bronx Tale is so fucking good. So I'm gonna try to get her to watch that one with me. I also
Nice.
got her to watch True Detective for the first time. She had never seen it, so I rewatched it again.
I was just about to cut you off. So you're rewatching it again.
Since we did our finale last week, we watched 6.5 episodes. We're just about done in a week,
Fuck
and
yeah. Did you
she's
catch anything
enjoying it.
new?
You know what? After a rewatch, it is actually, it made me think to myself, based off of your theory as well, Amanda had the same kind of, interesting take was, are we sure Rust isn't the fucking Yellow King? I don't want to get too much into this, but it was just interesting because your theory was maybe they got Rust telling that mom to go off herself, got him on camera telling her that as blackmail or something, or like this guy's fucking crazy. He's telling people he's supposed to be getting, admissions of guilt from, telling them to go off themselves. And then literally the next day, or, a week before that is when Guy Francis offs himself in the jail cell. And she was like,
Yep.
how do we know that it wasn't Russ that went to the maybe Guy Francis one was like, I know who you are. You didn't get everybody. So maybe Guy Francis was like poking the bear a little bit, being like, I know you're the Yellow King because I've seen you before. And if you want an admission of guilt, I'm willing to play ball. Get me off, or I'm going to expose you because I know who you are, the Yellow King. And it's not until he says the Yellow King that McConaughey flips the fuck out, and starts
Hmm.
choking him and shit.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think McConaughey's in on it, but again, it just goes back to the brilliant writing. If you didn't watch the show before and then you turn it on, you're like, every theory is completely on the cards or on the table for you. It's amazing. So we're gonna finish that up this week. Hopefully, watch A Bronx Tale, and then I had an insane night gambling last night on the Buffalo Sabres and Montreal Canadiens. $5. I won 1,040 bucks.
Fuck yeah.
One.
What was it, a parlay, I'm
It
assuming,
was
or
an
what?
18 leg parlay. It was like
Nice.
plus 20,000 odds. If people don't believe it, I'll post it in the fucking comments. But I couldn't believe it. It was like 7 players, shots on goal, and then like 4 or 5 guys had to get a point. Everyone scored a point. And then I picked both goalies over 21 saves or something, no overtime. And it was just this insane parlay that I had no confidence in because I never hit these bets. And it just fucking, it was like practically there by the end of the second period. And I was so stoked. So
Well done.
pretty
Well
exciting
done.
night. Yeah.
Those are, I'm not the biggest gambler really at all. If I do any bets though, it's exactly that. It's like 10 to 12 leg parlays.
Throw $5
And
on it.
I watch the Eagles every week. So when you watch a team that consistent, you do know the team inside and out. So I feel more comfortable doing parlays on the Eagles than I do even like the Raiders because you
Sure.
literally watch them every week. You know who they
Sure.
go to. And I was 11 of 12 legs on a $10 bet for like 1,200. and it was ridiculous. It was their first loss of the season this past year when they played the New York Giants. And the parlay leg I missed was Devontae Smith scoring a touchdown. And if you remember that game, they were at their own like 10-yard line backed up in like the early third quarter, and Jalen Hurts had a wide open Devontae Smith like 60 yards downfield, separation of 10 yards, and he fucking overthrew him.
Of
And I was
course.
like, oh my fucking God. So that's my type of luck. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
gamble, but it's
exactly.
fun to do those types of things.
Yeah, exactly. I
You know what I
had
mean?
a very similar case like that last year too. I like to do the touchdown, anytime touchdown parlays
Yeah.
across the entire league. And I had like 7 of 8 parlay legs hit. And I just like, oh wow, like I can cash out and win $300. I'm gonna take it because I know I'm not gonna win.
Yeah.
As soon as I
You're a cash
cashed
out
out,
guy.
my eighth leg, T. Higgins gets a touchdown, and I would have won like 1,000. And it's like, oh my God! But that's
Hey man,
you.
people can talk shit all they want on the cashing out. I'm a cash out guy.
Me
I
too.
am.
I
If
don't
I'm gonna
give a
walk
shit.
with $200-300, I'll
If I
take
can turn 5 into 300, bet your
it.
ass. Like, why
Yeah.
not? Who gives a
Straight
shit?
up, man.
Gas
That's
is
awesome.
$5 a gallon.
Someone's got to pay the fucking. Someone's got to put the heat on. That's fucking.
Did you
That's.
gamble? Tell me you
Don't
gambled the
make a
fucking
fuck out of
money. I'll
me,
give you
Al.
the.
Don't make a fuck of me. Did you gamble? Fucking kids at home.
Tell me you gambled the fucking money. I'll give you the fucking money to put the fucking heat on.
Oh man, but that's awesome though. Did she enjoy Goodfellas?
It was great. Yeah,
You
I
enjoyed it?
haven't seen it in a few years, but yeah, just amazing. Ray Liotta, R.I.P. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Pesci,
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable. De Niro,
Okay.
unbelievable.
Sure.
The actor who plays Paulie too is like, I don't know that I've ever seen him in anything else, but he's incredible.
Yeah,
Just plays that mob boss so good.
straight up. He does.
Yeah,
You know
just
what, too?
you don't want to
Like,
mess with him. He just gives off that vibe where you say something that even remotely irritates him or gets under his skin. He just acts so good and gives that blank stare like,
dude, yeah, when that restaurant manager is
yeah.
talking to him about Tommy, he's like, Tommy's a good kid. What do you want me to do? Shoot him? Well, it wouldn't be a bad
Oh, it wouldn't be a
idea.
bad idea.
He just fucking looks at him with that look you're
I'm
talking
sorry,
about.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said it.
Listen, we don't have to, decide now, but we just wrapped up True Detective season one last week. Tonight we're wrapping up Return of the Jedi. So, we'll have to have a discussion about what we're diving into next. I wouldn't be opposed to diving into some of these mobster flicks
I actually have an
for
idea for
sure.
next
So,
week. I have an idea for next week already.
yeah.
I think we're gonna do Jurassic Park for the
Okay.
episode next
Okay.
week. Yeah, we're
Sounds
going to
good.
do it
Jurassic
just in
Park.
light because I saw that preview for Spielberg's new movie that was filmed by you guys, Disclosure
Pleasure
Day.
day. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, Spielberg has some good blockbusters we should discuss. And I just like thought, what better one to start with than Jurassic Park, another one of the biggest blockbusters of all time. We're on Star Wars, Spielberg, George Lucas connection. Let's go Jurassic Park next week.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. The first one, the OG.
Yeah.
Fuck Jeff Goldblum, man. Whenever I think of Jurassic Park, though, the first one, I always think of that girl with the jello.
Yeah.
And what makes it even funnier, though, is her brother, who's just so oblivious to what's he's just like, fucking,
There's 3 raptors behind him, and he's just chowing down on the fucking green jello.
he's got the fucking jello. He's so
And she
happy.
doesn't even tell him. She
I
just
know.
stares while these dinosaurs are creeping up behind her brother. And just,
Yeah, let's do it. Jurassic Park
all
next
right,
week, man. We'll dive
that'll be
into it.
fun. That'll be fun.
With that being said, let's jump in. This has been fun. The last 2 weeks, the last two episodes, we've been doing the OG Star Wars trilogy, obviously starting with A New Hope, jumping to The Empire Strikes Back, and here we are, episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Man, before we get started, we've had a lot of comments the last few weeks. More negative than positive, but regardless of what it is, hey, drop your
Hey,
thoughts and
hey,
opinions. Hey, that's enough.
hey.
Hey, drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments. We love chatting with you guys, but remember, We're doing this all out of fun. So if you're triggered over two strangers talking about movies made in the 70s, then maybe it's some time for some self-reflection.
Yeah,
But
we put away the Leia posters and like
yeah.
calm down. We watch a movie and we make fun of it. We still like it, but settle
Yeah.
down.
And hey, listen, I will say out of the three OG movies, this one is my favorite.
Oof,
And I can already tell you going in, I'm
oof.
going to be taking it a lot easier on Luke Skywalker too. I really like where his character goes. We'll get into it all. But before we jump in, John, what are you thinking? Where do you rank Return of the Jedi? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What's your thoughts?
I might get the most hate out of all the trilogy on this one because I watched it last night. I honestly, this was my favorite when we were kids. And
Mm,
again, like Empire Strikes Back, like A New Hope, this is the first time I'm watching it in 20 years,
yeah,
honestly.
long time.
I did not like care for it at all. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I found myself laughing at it more than anything. I mean, a good conclusion to the OG trilogy for sure. You know, Luke gets his closure, Leia gets closure. They all get closure, and it's a great, I guess, wrap up for the original trilogy. But I had found myself more picking it apart more than anything. And I don't want to sound like too much of a critic, you know, because obviously there are some positives here to discuss that we will. But yeah, I just wasn't that impressed. Like this was always my favorite as a kid, and now I'm just I don't know, maybe I'm just like not into Star Wars anymore. That's kind of what the conclusion that's kind of where I was left. Like after watching it, I was like, am I just not a Star Wars fan anymore? Like what happened? I don't really know how to explain it, but we'll get into it.
Hey, fair enough. We'll get into that big, battle scene with the Ewoks. We'll get there. But based off what you just said, I had that same mindset towards the end battle. I remember being kids thinking that battle was the shit. I was like we literally rewound it and just watched it and like played Ewoks
We
and
like
Stormtroopers.
reenacted it with
Yeah, we did. And I was rewatching that battle scene and I was like, what the fuck? This is
it's
awful.
horrible.
But
It's
we'll get
absolutely
there.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that scene, but yeah, it's it jumps back to where it all starts, man, the planet of Tatooine at Jabba's palace.
Hmm.
And what I do enjoy is, we pick Luke Skywalker apart, especially in A New Hope with his just whiny, bratty, bitchy ways. I like where they take him. He's definitely more mature, but what I really like about him is he really is borderline dark side, if you will. Like he comes into Jabba's palace, obviously they're all there to rescue Han Solo. Dude comes in with a black garb on. He chokes the two guards like with his force powers, almost Darth Vader style, which I was like, wow, he's supposed to be a good guy and he's like choking people to death. He's obviously got the black glove on one hand, which kind of symbolizes good and bad, like kind of down the middle. He didn't finish his training yet.
That's gotta be Kane.
That's
That's
gotta be
gotta be
gay.
Kane.
He's not a murderer. But I don't know. I just wanted to start with that because we are looking at a completely different Luke Skywalker, and I like that he's more sure of himself. The bitchy brattiness is kind of, faded out. And in a way, he's struggling with the Force, if you will. Would you agree with that? Disagree? What do you think?
I do agree with that. I think that's a good, quick brief breakdown of where Luke's at now.
Yeah.
Definitely more mature. He's been the battle against his father. Yeah, it's definitely a darker, edgier Luke. That being said, that might be his idea to get Han Solo out of there. It threw me for a loop right off the get-go. The droids approach Jabba's, hideout with the message from Luke, and they don't know what the message says, and they play it. And Luke literally offers up the droids to
Yep.
Jabba, and I'm like, that's the fucking worst, worst like plan ever. Because essentially Jabba nearly accepts it, like he takes the droids anyway and is like, you guys belong to me now. The droids go downstairs. C-3PO is shocked. He's like, wait, what did that say? Like, Luke is giving us away, R2? They go downstairs and it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre for droids. There's droids getting burned by soldering irons and getting like disemboweled and everything. It's like, how did Luke had no like real idea that that wouldn't have happened to C-3PO and R2-D2. He was full on ready to sacrifice those
Give him away.
droids if it worked. And that's like again, the droids are getting no respect
The
whatsoever. But
disrespect
they're
of
going
the
to be
droids.
needed throughout the entire movie. you know?
Yeah,
So I
dude.
don't know. Horrible plan by Luke. Because I mean, even he arrives and like he gets sent down to the fucking pit to battle that gigantic monster. Like his
Yeah.
plan fails miserably. Oh,
Oh, it
like
does. Yeah,
he's still not there. But I do want to go back because before we even see Luke, there's a couple things in this movie that just like stood out to me right from the get-go, if that's cool.
of course.
We obviously the Death Star's being rebuilt, right? Did you notice the special effect, like the sound effects that they use when ships approach the new Death Star?
Mm-mm.
It's literally the roar from Ray Harryhausen's creation of the Cyclops in Captain Seventh Voyage of Sinbad from
No
like
way.
1957. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I was watching it like within the first 2 minutes, you hear it. I'm like, that's the Cyclops roar from Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I hope Justin picks up on that.
One of the best movies ever,
One
too.
of the
Got a
best
got a
movies.
poster of it right here.
Yeah.
I actually
Your
now that you
favorite
bring
from
it
when we were kids, for sure.
now that you bring that up, I do know exactly what you're talking about. It's supposed to be like an alarm
An
almost,
alarm
like a
siren going off. Yeah.
but now that I think about it, I'm
It's
like,
a
oh,
roar.
okay. Is
It's
that the
literally the
Cyclops?
Cyclops. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was also curious, how are they rebuilding the Death Star in space?
Hmm.
I know it's just a movie and I'm gonna get hate for this, but like seriously, the Star Wars nerds take everything else super seriously if you dare critique anything.
Sure.
So give me this. Like, how are they rebuilding the Death Star in
Yeah.
space? You get camera shots of the Death Star. It's literally half built. How are they patching it up on the outside? How are they battening down the hatches? How, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Sure. Yeah.
it's so exposed on the whole half. Like, why would it be so hard to destroy this thing while it's being built in space?
Yeah,
That
that's
just didn't make any sense to me. I get like why they're rebuilding it and all that, and huge plot hole in my opinion.
yet another plot hole too is
How
did
are the
they not
materials even getting in space? Like, how are you getting the materials in space to build this?
Yeah.
You
And did
know?
they not learn their lesson?
Right.
Like, now let's build another Death Star with a switch that, can blow the fucking thing up. Like, you would
Right.
think after, the New Hope, they'd be like, all right, let's not make this mistake again. But they
Can you
literally,
imagine like Emperor Palpatine being like, "We did not put the detonator in the same position this time, correct?"
yeah.
And the generals are like,
Like, well, well, we
"No,
did, but we have a shield on a moon
we
that
put
will
it
hopefully
down the
protect
hall."
it. Some great points for
It
sure.
just drove me. I was like, "Come on now!" Like, I wanted to go into this one liking it more than Empire Strikes Back. And like right off the get-go, I was kind of just finding myself tearing it apart. I don't know, maybe the nerds got to me and I wanted to do that. So I don't know. Wasn't too pleased to start. Jabba's Party. Did you hear the song that
Yeah.
there's I must have rewound the song like 3 times because the lyrics were cracking me up. It's like
Ba 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 da da be yo.
it was so weird and so random. I was like, "What? Like how
He's
do you
like
even do
smoking
this?"
opium. Like
Yeah, they're like
there's
doing drugs and shit. And
yeah.
Jabba's right-hand man, the guy with the guy who looks like a vampire but has like snake worm hair, he's probably the most disgusting looking guy in the
No
entire
way, dude.
series.
No way. The guy
He
with
is.
the turned up nose from
Nope.
a New
Nope.
Hope is the
Snake
worst.
Snake Man from Jabba's palace is
Hey, anybody who's watching, comment below. Who's more fucking filthy? Snake Man, Jabba's right-hand man, or the turned up nose guy from A New Hope? I'm going New Hope guy.
and that New Hope guy is from the bar scene, right? What
Yeah, he doesn't like you. I
I
don't
don't
like you
like.
either. I'm sorry.
How do they come up with these creations too? They're just like, hey, let's smoke a
Acid,
lot of
shrooms.
weed, do a lot
Yeah.
of LSD, and just
Yeah.
draw what comes to your mind.
Yeah, like he literally just gave like 10 different kids like a pen and paper. I was like, just draw something. I would say though, the movie is way darker, especially starting at Jabba's palace. You have some pretty like gruesome deaths.
Yeah,
Like Jabba throwing that like hooker who is like trying to run away from him down below. Yeah, obviously he tries to throw Luke down there, and then that one guard goes down there. And even like I said, like Luke strangling people to death with his force powers. Like it definitely
right.
takes a much different approach to start than A New Hope or even an Empire Strikes Back, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Lot darker tone. And, while we're there, I know we spent a little bit of time talking about him last week. Boba Fett, one of the coolest designs, but goes out like the biggest bitch. And in my opinion, has, other than Vader, maybe like the sickest design in the
I think,
series, dude.
yeah, he's the original keyboard warrior. He's like the original guy who just looks the part, sounds the part,
Yeah.
doesn't back it up at all. And obviously, that's a creative decision. I hate how they killed him off.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, can you think of any other awesome character that goes out worse? I mean,
in
in
Star Wars, anticlimactic,
Yeah,
yeah,
anticlimactic. Like I feel like Boba Fett might hold the crown for
might
that.
take the
Can you think
cake.
of any others?
And he screams like a like a girl. He's like it reminds me of Friday when Ice Cube and
Smokey.
Smokey were running away and they're you like that baby? It's smoke dog, baby. And then
Yeah.
they get shot at one time and just screams the most high pitched like that's Boba Fett as he's falling into the Sarlacc pit. A
Dude, sh
huge letdown. Yeah, I mean I was like instantly like dock another point for that.
Dude, shout out Snuzzles from our hometown, which was my very first job. I started as a dishwasher and was a line cook by the time I left. And I remember I was trying to be so cool out back. This is when I like really was like first started smoking cigarettes, and there was like a bunch of older kids like who were like worked there from our school, and I was just trying to be so cool. And we were all out there smoking a cig, and I went out with the trash and I like tried to throw it over because it was like one of those tall dumpsters, and out of nowhere, it was a night shift. This wild thunder hit with a lightning, and I let out a smoky scream. I just go in front of like all the older kids trying to be cool, but that was fucking hysterical.
That's
But
great. That's
yeah,
great.
man, Boba Fett, awesome design, but you don't got it like that, that's for sure.
Yeah, he goes out like a bee.
So the mission's a success, even though, as you pointed out, it's not as planned by any means. So a lot of
It goes
improvising.
zero according, nothing goes according to Luke's plan. Somehow it works out, by the miracle of movies. But
By the miracle of the Jedi. Oh, by the way, not to get too sidetracked, I don't know if this is fake news, but I saw it online. Apparently, Disney is scrapping episodes 7, 8, and 9 and not making them canon. I don't know if they're gonna like redo them or something,
you
but
mean 10, 11, 12?
no, 7, 8, 9. The last trilogy that came out with like Rey and fucking
No way.
it's probably fake news. Star Wars nerds, if you're watching, call me out. Let me know if that's legit or not, but I
Yeah, because
saw
we also got
something.
called out for fake news about Titanic earlier. Some lady was like, "You guys are spouting false misinformation on YouTube." It's like, lady, calm down, okay?
Did you see
We're
what I
watching.
said to her?
Yeah.
Dude, I was up till like 3 a.m. going back and forth over the fucking Titanic. I was like, this is absurd. I guess this is YouTube, huh?
It sure is. Yeah, we'll have to
Well,
be kind of selective. We watch movies, we critique them, we laugh at them, we laugh with them. Don't take it too serious, people.
that was the first thing she said. She was like, oh, the movie. Oh, yeah, fair game. I'm like, all right, just read the fucking
Just
description.
click on the link and
That's all you gotta do.
seriously, like we're not giving you a fucking history lesson about the sinking of the Titanic for Pete's sake.
Do we look like people that are gonna just come up here and talk about the fucking real life
Yeah,
Titanic?
he has a freaking
Like,
Howdy Doody doll behind him. We're not giving Titanic lessons, okay?
Jesus
Settle,
Christ.
settle.
Oh man. Well, anyway, hey, jumping back to
Back to the Jedi.
back to the Return of the Jedi. It's a success, and obviously Luke now, this I'd said at the beginning I was going to be taking it easy on Luke. I am. He's not a bitch in my opinion like he was in A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, but this one I thought was interesting. He parts ways after the success. Where's he going? He's going to link up with Yoda again. And it's really annoying because he just bounced in an Empire Strikes Back against Yoda's like wishes. I have to save my friends. I'll be back. it kind of pisses me off how he obviously comes back here now a few years later and just expects Yoda to just drop everything and just like start. He's like, you can't die. Like he just
Right,
shows up and just expects Yoda to be like, oh, hey Luke, all right, yeah, where were
right,
we? Lesson 7? Okay, let's
right.
dive right in. So that annoyed me a bit, a little
Same,
inconsiderate, you
same.
know?
Good point, because the same thing happens to Solo. How long has he been frozen?
Well, they fucking promoted him to general.
Yeah, in the time that he was frozen, he comes back as a general, after Luke saves them and Lando saves them and they all get out of there. He gets no time off, no recovery. They get back to the rebel ship, the main rebel ship, and they're like, Solo, glad that you could join us. We're about to attack the Death Star again. It took them how many years to get him? No other
At
rebel
least
force
3.
even tried. Yeah, probably at least 3 years. Like you would think, right? Like I don't think they let Jabba have him for, a couple nights,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But like you would imagine some time passed before they fucking went after him.
Oh
No
yeah.
other rebels, like, oh, Han's back. Like, great, we get to use his Millennium Falcon. Like, where were you? Where were you guys when Han needed you? They didn't give a shit at all. Now it's like, oh, thank God we got another general. It's General Solo back to help us, beat the Empire. I thought that was
Hmm.
kind of whack. Like,
It was, and we talked about it in an Empire Strikes Back. The fact that he was promoted to captain really made no sense, especially since he dipped and then, okay, I understand he came back to like kind of help, but not really. And now he's been kidnapped, pretty much dead, comes back and they bump him to general. I'm like, that's nepotism at its finest, right? Like, if we're talking, like his connections with Princess Leia, he's fucking general. That makes no sense whatsoever, But when I caught that, I was like, I need to make it a point to bring that up because we were talking about him being a captain. We were like, that makes no sense. And the fact that he's a general, come on now.
right, right.
Come
I
on now.
couldn't agree more. And before
Yeah.
we move on too, I love his exchange with Lando when they're like already prepping to they get out of out of Tatooine and they're immediately prepping for the main assault.
Hmm.
Lando and Solo have an exchange where Han like throws him the keys to the Millennium Falcon and he's like, "Take her, I know you want to." And Lando's like, "All right, buddy."
There's like, there's some
I know what
subliminal
she,
stuff
yeah,
there.
he's like, I know what she means to you. And then he's like, I'll take good care of her and won't get a scratch on her. And Han's like, I know you won't. And he walks away, then he stops in his track and turns around. He's like, hey, are we talking about the Falcon or Leia?
Seriously,
It
it's
just
such a
cracked me up. I was like,
sleazeball.
not Leia. I'm talking about the Falcon.
When Luke comes back from wrapping his training with Yoda, and now he knows Leia's his sister, and he gives her a big hug. She's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Ask me again sometime."
Yeah.
And then like Han Solo comes up and just looks at her like, you know what? I'm fucking over this
I'm done with
shit.
this.
I am
You want
fucking.
Luke? Or do you
Did
want
you notice
me?
this? He's like,
Oh, you could tell Luke, but you couldn't tell me. And she still is
he
she's
literally.
so fucking vague with him
I
though. Like
know. He looks at her
she's
like, I'm fucking.
I
I
kind
am
of feel
done.
bad for him. It's like, Leia, just like why are you waiting to tell him that Luke's your brother? Like you're
Yeah,
torturing this poor man who
straight
loves you.
up.
And you're just like, I'll tell you later. I can't tell you now. We're about to fight the Empire.
They end up in the jungle planet. But if I may, before we jump to that, I will say another part of the movie I think is really cool is I really enjoy the Emperor's character. I think he's like such a cool big baddie. What are you
Yeah.
laughing at?
No, I'll
Um,
tell you then. Go ahead.
yeah, I just love the attire. I love his like cockiness, like when he gets off his ship and Vader's like telling him, everything that's going on. Like one of his lines is like everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. I'm like, that's just such a rad line. I think the score that goes with him is really cool. And if you notice too, he's sitting in this like turnaround throne throughout the movie, and the window, if you notice, is almost like a spider web. If you look at the
Hmm.
design of the window. It's like a spider web. So that is another thing I really wanted to point out that I do really enjoy about the movie is the Emperor's character. I think it's really cool.
Except his chair that he has like controls for clearly, and it like just spins around so smooth and fast. I was watching it. He like gives an order to Vader, and Vader like walks away, and it just shows the Emperor in the background, like such a fast spin of his chair, like, to look out the window. And I was thinking, imagine if his controls went out, and you just see him in the background, like spinning uncontrollably.
Some like Impractical Jokers shit right
Seriously,
there.
yeah,
Like
it
he's not
was.
even in control of it. It's
Yeah,
fucking
exactly
hysterical.
like in Practical Jokers, where other people are controlling his chair. He's like, oh, ew.
Well, it's so cool too is that you bring that up because Vader says, like we've located, the rebels, they're on the moon, like we know where Skywalker is. He comes and gives them this update, and sure enough, the Emperor in that chair just zips around. He's just like, "Yes, I know." Like he just zips around so fast. He's like, "I know." It's just so like cocky and arrogant, just omniscient. Like, but I do like that though. Like I said, like obviously Vader's character arc is here. He ends up flipping by the end by the end of the movie. So the fact that they do have that big baddie, me, I always rooted for the bad guys. Like I always liked that.
Yeah, you certainly did. I mean, as evidenced by your fucking wall behind you.
Hey, some of the people I rooted for growing up, fucking Hopper from Bug's Life, one of the best bad guys ever. Dude, Hopper from
Great
Bugs
movie.
is a great movie. So good, man. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring up the Emperor. I thought that was rad. And we'll get to him a little bit later. But yeah, that brings us back to the forest planet, the moon. I don't know what it is. Comment below if you do. And they are there to eliminate the shield. And there's a lot to talk about here. Where do you want to start?
I want to give a shout out to C3PO
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because this droid gets less respect than R2D2. This is like he's the most implausible artificial intelligence like we've ever seen on film,
mm.
I would say. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. This droid is has empathy, sympathy, he has feelings. He speaks over 6 million languages. This is like the smartest character in all of Star Wars. If
Mm-hmm.
they need something, they use C3PO and D2.
Yep.
But like C3PO is always there. And he was built by a child.
Yeah, he was built by
Like
Anakin.
he has morals, he has feelings as a robot. I just wanted to give an honorable shout out to him because he gets no respect and he saves their bacon, I feel like, so many times in this movie, and also gets shit on in this movie more than any of the others by Han Solo, I feel like.
I couldn't agree more. We've been talking about the disrespect since A New Hope. When the Ewoks think 3PO is a god,
Exactly. That's what I was getting at
I
is like they thought he was like worthy of worship. And I'm like, that makes sense. These little fucking primitive Teddy Grahams in the woods are running around and they think that this robot is like the all-powerful artificial intelligence that they've ever seen. Like what are the chances that 3PO just happens to speak Ewokian,
or
Ewokian or whatever?
rewatching that just to,
Yeah, yeah.
piggyback on what you're saying, I feel like he really put in zero to little effort to save them as kind of like this is a theory I just had rewatching that this week was, yo, this is his payback because when they thought he was a god and they're about to burn Han Solo at the stake with Luke Scott, he really put in like no fucking effort. And in my mind, I was like, I think he's finally like, fuck you guys. I have a whole congregation of worshipers here and they treat me with respect. So if they want to burn you, fuck yes, because he really doesn't put in any type of effort whatsoever to
That's
save them.
great. Maybe we need a 3PO villain enemy movie.
3PO, the god of the Ewoks, the god of the Teddy Grahams. Every time I watch them, I think of Teddy Grahams, and not to
Same.
get too sidetracked. I mean, what a great snack from the early 2000s,
Oh,
late
they were
90s.
so good. What was your favorite flavor?
I liked the cinnamon ones.
Cinnamon. Yep, cinnamon.
Cinnamon was the best.
Ooh, nope. The chocolate chip. Those are the best.
They're good. They
But
are
wasn't
good.
there even a special like funfetti Teddy
Oh yeah.
Graham?
There was a
Those were good
funfetti
too.
Teddy
Those were
Graham.
good too.
And they only had two shapes. You had a Teddy Grahams that arms were like this, or you had Teddy Grahams where arms were like this. And the arms that were like this, I would always play wrestling figures with them.
I remember I'd like come into the kitchen, you'd have like 30 of them doing a Teddy Graham Royal Rumble.
And the ones that were like this were perfect for like setting up rock bottoms and
Suplexes
fucking
and
choke slams and shit.
yeah.
Oh my God. But
I'd be
yeah,
like,
it's
what's that one doing up on the ledge? And you're like, that's Jeff Hardy.
he's setting up for a swanton bomb.
Jeff Hardy, Teddy Grahams.
But you
So
know
true.
what? Now that we're on this planet, I want to start off with the infamous bike chase scene. I got a few
Oh,
things. I got a few things
same,
I want to
same.
throw at you. A few
Yeah.
things. First off, before we get to the questions, I always think of this movie and this scene whenever I watch Place Beyond the Pines. When Ryan Gosling's character first sees his bank robber partner in the woods, you can tell that was actually kind of like there's similar shooting scenes, and it always made me think of this scene when, they're going through the woods and they're kind of like looking at each other like through the woods as they're hauling ass through the woods. I just wanted to throw that in there. Always made me think of that.
Hmm.
But
Great movie.
terrific movie. Question for you. Why the fuck are the stormtroopers running away here? Because when you think about it, they're the trained soldiers, right? They're
Yep.
on their base here.
This
They
is their
all have
purpose
they
for
all
living.
have weapons, and
Right.
you have Han, Chewie, Luke, and Leia. And if you pay attention closely, Han's the only one with a blaster. And when he tries sneaking up behind the one stormtrooper and blows his cover, he drops it. So it just literally turns into a fist fight, if you will. But remind you, they all have guns, but they haul ass. They run
He
away. And I'm
yells for
like,
his buddy, the one stormtrooper who's fighting with Jan, just with Han, just turns around and is like, "Get help!" And they all ride away. They're like the
with
biggest
guns.
pussies. Yeah, I
And
don't
they're
understand that either.
their bikes have guns too. I'm like, they could have easily just sprayed, the main characters and really just ended the series right there. But once again, just incompetence and just terrible
Incompetence, and
soldiers
then
here,
they
man.
they almost when Leia is first meets the Ewok or whatever,
Yeah,
they get ambushed by two more stormtroopers.
right.
And one is like shooting at Leia and the Ewok, and one of them comes up, sneaks behind him, and is like, "Freeze!"
But how is Leia a better driver than the stormtroopers too?
Not only that, but like he gets his ass kicked right away by Leia and this Ewok. Like immediately, he gets just taken out.
Got his
And
ass whooped.
they're like the clumsiest, least organized teams ever. It's like
Yeah, man.
if Vader and Palpatine even had half remotely competent warriors, this wouldn't even be a film trilogy because they're just
Hmm.
the worst army ever,
They're
honestly.
worse. They're worse than the battle droids from the prequel series. Like they don't do shit. And you know what? We were talking about this when we started the episode. I had shared, this battle scene, the big battle between the Teddy Grahams and the Stormtroopers was my favorite part of the movie. Rewatching it, I'm like, this is so stupid. How the fuck did they get their asses whooped as much as they did? The Teddy Grahams have rocks and
Tomahawks.
spears. Tomahawks. But like seriously, like if you look at this, like how the hell do they lose, dude? Like the Teddy Grahams have tomahawks, rocks, and spheres,
And
and
slingshots
and
and like,
slingshots and those, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
David and Goliath things, and they whoop the Empire's ass here.
The infamous before the battle really starts, Han Solo is like there's two stormtroopers at the front of the base and he like emerges from the woods and taps on the shoulder and like runs away.
Hmm.
And the stormtrooper's just like, "Get back here." And he turns around.
Hey,
He falls for this like the most basic kindergarten trap ever and
yeah.
circles the corner and there's like 20 of the rebel guys just like, "We got you." And he's like, "Ah, man." Like it's like, damn it. Like, why did it take Han Solo to get so close to a stormtrooper? You're outnumbering that guy 20 to 1, and they have to come up with this elaborate plan. So
Yeah,
that
what?
leads us to the Ewok battle, though.
Oh yeah.
Han and Leia and everybody gets kidnapped or captured again inside the base. I don't know why they don't just kill these people at this
I
point.
know.
They're like three movies in and they're like, "You two again? Man, I don't know why we're not just like
Yeah.
killing you and tossing you out into the space. We don't have to deal with you anymore." They're kidnapping them again. They walk them all out there. There's, I don't know, what, 200 stormtroopers. They got those
Yeah.
AT
Full regiment.
walkers, those bipedal walkers or whatever the hell they are.
Hmm.
How many generals in charge walking around, and they get ambushed by Ewoks. And again, like you said, one of the favorite like battle action sequences of all of Star Wars when we were kids from the
Yeah.
original trilogy watching it back was just painful. I was
Yeah.
instantly like, man, what are the stormtroopers' armor made of? That's like the chimsiest plastic I've ever seen that like
Yeah.
rocks and sticks and wooden arrows and slingshots and whatever the hell else they're using is just like taking them out. And I'm like, I'm watching it. I was almost rooting for the stormtroopers. I'm like, do you forget
Hmm.
you are holding blasters? Like, why
Right.
is no one shooting back? It's so
Exactly.
insulting to your intelligence to watch. And then you're like, oh, these stormtroopers, they're not only are they moronic characters, but they have no sense of self-defense. They just take it. They're like these cute and cuddly little guys. We don't want to kill them. We'll just chase them through the woods and run through every Kevin McAllister Home Alone booby trap they've set up
Yeah,
for
for
us. It's
sure, dude.
so ridiculous. And this goes on for
Absolutely.
30 minutes. They don't learn their lesson at all. They actually start dying. There's fucking random stormtroopers like laying down like Don Vito in the bowling alley. The camera's just like zooming through the woods and you just see random stormtroopers dead.
You do.
It's
Like, what the hell
ridiculous.
is that gear protecting them from? Like, the
Nothing.
rocks take them out, like you said, like sticks, and it's literally like killing them. And if you look at the gear, it's a full-blown suit. Like,
But
you
they
would
get hit
think
in
with
like the
how it,
chin and the whole
yeah,
helmet like twists sideways. It's so loose and flimsy.
I
It
know.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's literally just like a bucket over their head that you could just take off. I will say it always makes me laugh when the Ewok starts the battle by stealing the bike. He like just shimmies up there and just hauls ass out. Makes me laugh every time. But yeah, I mean, this battle, we've been joking about it since A New Hope, how bad the stormtroopers are as an army, as troopers. And, this battle just highlights that more than anything in the entire trilogy, as far as I'm concerned. They
It really
suck.
does. It really
They
does.
suck.
And it's
Terrible.
not any better in space. Lando's leading the assault in
Yeah,
space.
right.
And I'm telling you what, again, we commented how bad the co-pilots and gunners were from Empire Strikes Back or whatnot. But these pilots, they're in the battle of all battles. You're
Yeah.
trying to destroy the new Death Star. They're the
Again.
least enthused. Like, have some fucking passion. Where's Maverick and Goose and Iceman when you need them? You're fighting for the galaxy, and they're just like, there's the most dry pilots of all time. They're just like, Red Two's here.
Well,
You know
there's
what I mean? They're
I
like
do,
so
man.
boring and dull. It's like, dude, Lando's taking you into battle. You're about to be potentially blasted into oblivion. Like, show some fucking heart and like passion for being there, like belief in the mission.
Yeah,
It was like painful to watch. Good shot, Red too.
absolutely. Well, there's a flip side to that too, because the Empire's just as bad. Let's remind the viewers, Death Star 1 was just blown up 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
There's
whatever the
no
timeline is.
urgency.
There's no like, okay, we have the shield down, and they're obviously trying to blow up Death Star 2, which we've been busting
Yeah.
our ass trying to make. The Emperor and Vader are on the fucking Death Star. How do you even allow an attack to take place? You know what I mean? Like, just so unprepared and just they don't give a shit. They're like,
Well,
oh yeah, another attack. Yeah, they're trying to blow up the Death Star, so
there's
we
no urgency.
might
You would
want to
think
get
they would
on
have
that.
like, I don't know, every 10 feet on the outside of that Death Star would be mounted with fucking blaster machine guns.
Exactly, dude.
And there's
Yeah.
not at all. It's like
No, for
they're just
sure.
like the stormtroopers are just casually walking around inside while Luke and Vader are fighting to the death. Like they
They're at
don't
like the Death Star like cafe, like, ooh, is
cafe,
that cappuccino back on the menu?
right?
My God. They're like, ooh, it's half off wings tonight. You know what
Yeah,
else though too is when Luke Skywalker turns himself in and he meets with Vader and they're kind of like walking that little walkway and he's
sure.
like, I
Yeah.
know, Father. And Vader's like, so you've come to the realization, ba 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 ba. Luke goes on this like whole spiel how, I know you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father, and I know, he wouldn't kill me then, and that's why he won't kill me now. He's just all cocky with it, turns his back to Vader, and as soon as he turns his back, Vader turns on Luke's lightsaber. And if you look at Luke's face, he turns around like, fuck, is he gonna fucking kill me?
I was just kidding.
I didn't say you wouldn't. It's just you're crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, not a fan of that end battle at all. I think it's whack. And in my opinion, it used to be my favorite part of the movie as a kid. It's the worst part of the movie, in my opinion,
He
now.
whoops Vader's ass pretty easily.
He does.
And
Yeah.
then he gets electrocuted by Palpatine.
Hmm. I
I don't
like
know,
that scene.
10 times he gets electrocuted by Palpatine.
Yeah.
And all it takes is Vader, coming, wanting to, save his son. He picks up Palpatine and throws him over the edge to his death. And he gets electrocuted for what, 3 seconds in that process, and that's enough to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
No, worse than that. How the fuck does Palpatine survive? I mean, I know you and I are not fans of 7, 8, 9.
I haven't even seen him. I watched seven, I think, but it was so
Dude,
unimpressionable.
they're
I don't.
so stupid. Palpatine survives, and the reveal to that is so dumb. It's literally quote unquote, I have no idea, but somehow Palpatine's returned. And if like rewatching this, I'm like, he just got thrown down a fucking shaft, and then the Death Star is blown up. So like, how the fuck does he survive?
Yeah,
The dumbest shit, you know. But
right.
who knows? Maybe I'm way off with that fake news shit. But like I said, apparently that might be scratched from canon. But I will say I do like the end battle. The Emperor's whole motive is to get Luke to kill him, so that like murder
Kill
kind of
Vader or
puts
kill him?
kill him in a way, so that murder kind of like puts him over the edge and makes him full blown dark side, which is why when he goes to kill the Emperor, you notice Vader stops him. In my opinion, Vader's not stopping Luke from killing the Emperor there because he's actually protecting the Emperor. My opinion is he's stopping him from killing the Emperor, protecting Luke from himself. Because if he would
Let the anger.
succumb to the
Yeah,
anger and those emotions and strike down the Emperor, then he would be full blown dark side, and that's ultimately, in
that
my
makes
opinion,
sense.
what the Emperor wanted. So I do like that. I do like the ending.
Luke is at this point the Death Star or whatever, if they're in a Star Destroyer or something, whatever the ship that they're in, Luke is just dragging Vader's corpse essentially at this point through the halls.
Yeah.
Not one Empire employee cares. They're just running by Vader's practically dead body while some random kid is dragging him, and they're just like, Vader's dying. He's right there. Like, we don't give a shit. Like, we're
They're
getting
like
out of here.
jumping over his corpse.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow.
Could you
And then
imagine if Luke like looked at him like, "You gotta fucking help me,"
help
or
me.
what?
You make me do all the work. So then it goes back, the camera goes back to jungle or whatever, jungle strike going on with Han Solo and Leia. And inside the base, the Empire is like, send out the reinforcements. And there's like 20 guys that come running out, all grouped together, like super tight. As soon as they leave the doors, they get surrounded and it's just silence. And they're just looking around at each other like, dang it, how do we fall for that again?
Yeah.
So lame. D2, R2D2 gets shot and is like metal fragments everywhere. Leia gets shot then, and Han is tending to her. Han and Leia are just watching R2D2 like short out. Obviously, there's not much they can help to do because he's a fucking droid. But they're
Mm.
just looking at him. They don't like offer their condolences or anything. They don't know if R2D2 is dead or going to die. They just look at each other and they say, "Oh, great. Guess we got a hot wire in ourselves." Again,
Such
they
selfish
don't
pricks.
care about these droids who have
Yep.
saved their lives countless times. They're just like, oh, great. D2's got shot. C3PO's over in the woods. Guess we got to do it. They literally say, I guess I got to hot wire it myself.
Yep.
I was
Such
like,
disrespect.
so disrespectful. I was floored by that scene. I was like, what? Like, Han, they've saved you how many times? And that's
Exactly.
the extent of your care for these droids? I
Yeah.
thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. And I can't say though it's been anything short of consistent. That's how it's been, since Luke got him
Sure.
in A New Hope, man.
Sure. Yep,
It's
for sure.
frustrating though because, who's the real heroes? If you break down the
AI.
OG, yeah, if you break down the original trilogy, like everything, not just the big like, oh, who blew up the Death Star. Like if you break down like every predicament or every little mission, dude, R2D2 and C3PO are
They've
probably
been
like
there
1A
for
and 1B.
everything.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
they've
So,
literally been there for everything.
yeah, man.
So then the big reveal of Vader, Luke takes his mask off at Vader's request. I was left a little underwhelmed. I'm just gonna say. It always
Really?
reminds me
Right?
of the, yeah. I don't
Okay.
know if it's because we know what, Hayden Christensen looks like when
Mm.
he gets burned and everything, and then like them trying to match that to this actor, from 30 years beforehand or 25 or whatever it was. But yeah, they take the mask off and he's just got that big bar sitting over it, and it just reminds me of that meme where it says sad harmonica music. It made me laugh as soon as he took it off. They don't really have much of even like they don't say much to each other. He just kind
Mhm.
of passes away. And I was like, man, this just felt like so much more important when I was 10 years old. And now
Mhm.
it's just really lame. I was like, just let down more than anything. I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel the magic. I didn't feel I don't know. Maybe I've seen it too much. Maybe it's overdone with all the sequels and spin-offs and cartoon series and everything. I just loved it so much more being a kid, and then watching it now, I just was laughing at it the entire time and kind of embarrassed to even try to introduce Amanda to it because I don't feel like we last for more than 10 minutes of, A New Hope, let alone get all the way to Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. For the end, for me, it's interesting though, because for the end, it's the complete opposite for me. For one reason only. They do not drag it on for 20 minutes. Now, if you think of like popular trilogies, you could look at the prequel series.
Yeah.
Or if you look at Lord of the Rings, the
Oh
trilogy,
my
when
gosh.
you look at the ending, it's like 35, 40 minutes of them tying up every fucking storyline. Even like Pirates of the Caribbean, we just finished that one a few months ago.
They
It's
had a
like
whole movie of just tying up loose
just
ends.
tying up loose ends, and it's
Yeah.
like and it's always that way for like end trilogies. So when I rewatched this one, I was like, you know what, that was kind of like very short, sweet, to the point, and I was like, I kind of dig that because I couldn't remember how it ended off the top of my head. I mean, I know the basis, but like I was expecting this big like, oh, it's gonna show Han and then this and then that. And I was like, oh, from the time like Luke beats the Emperor to like the end credits, it's like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if that. And I kind of appreciate that because I
Sure.
think a lot of trilogies overdo the endings to the point where you're like, all right, wrap it the fuck up. It's over. Thank you very much. You know
I
what I
get
mean?
it. I get it. It's funny you say that because I actually have in my notes to talk about was how rushed the ending seemed. Like
Okay.
Vader passes, they burn his body.
Hmm.
In the background of Vader's body, his corpse burning, everybody is partying with the Ewoks, the Teddy Grahams, to reggae music and tribal music essentially. And Luke turns around, and did you notice that they like put
CGI'd
CGI'd
Christensen in.
Hayden Christensen? Did you also
Yeah.
notice that they CGI'd like the Jar Jar Binks species when it's like showing each kingdom celebrating the destruction of the Empire?
So that is not in that's I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't watch that ending. That's actually an added part of the ending. That's all
Okay,
new
okay.
shit added in. I watched like the original cut from like whenever the fuck this movie came out,
Gotcha.
and it's so short, but I know exactly what you're talking about. They showed the planets from the prequel series and the
Yes,
Jar
yes,
Jar
yes, yes,
Binks, and
yes,
they
yes.
show the big statue of the Emperor fall over. Version I watched didn't have that, but I know
Gotcha.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I just felt like it kind of felt rushed to me. I wasn't like super impressed or blown away by the conclusion or anything. But I can appreciate what you're saying too, because movies since then, especially big epic trilogies,
Yeah, dude.
the Harry Potters, the Pirates of the Caribbean, the
Lord of the
fucking Lord of the
Rings.
Rings.
Lord of the Rings is probably the
Oh
worst with it.
my,
That's like 45 minutes. I'm like, this is fucking
45
whack.
minutes of like nothing, no one cares.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, I can totally see that and appreciate it. But for me, overall, the entire movie kind of felt that way. It was just kind of a rushed conclusion, and I wouldn't rate it above
Fair
a
enough.
C. I found it very average.
I like that.
I thought it was the weakest installment out of the original trilogy myself.
No shit. Really?
I really did. Yeah,
So
it
so
made me
really
go
quick,
back to
rank.
New Hope, and I was like, "Ooh, I think I like the New Hope more than Return of the Jedi." I would go Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, Return of the Jedi.
Wow. Okay. I dig that. I think I'm going 654. I
Oh
think I'm
wow. Okay.
going Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope.
Okay.
I'm kind of cheesy though with it. Like you can tell, like when we were talking Empire Strikes Back, we were talking like production, and you can tell the budget was way bigger. Like
Sure.
New
Sure.
Hope, you could tell was like they were not working with what they were working with the other two films, you know. So
Yeah.
that kind of always fucks with me, but that's interesting though. I can't believe that it's your least favorite, but fair enough. To each
I
their
thought it
own.
was my
Each
favorite
their
going
own.
into it. I thought it was my favorite. Nope.
Okay,
After watching it, I was like, this is not better than A New Hope, and definitely nowhere near Empire Strikes Back. So
fair enough. It was
definitely
fun though. It
third
was
in the ranking.
fun.
It was fun. Yeah, I think in the future, let's take a break from Star Wars
Oh,
because
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I don't
I
know
don't
if I can
even want to
handle
do
more
I don't even want to do any other ones. Like if we were gonna do Star Wars, it would only be the OG
episodes
trilogy.
1 through 3,
I
maybe
wouldn't have
in a
the
year.
appetite for I
Not
don't
even
even
in a
know if I'd
year.
all right, we'll
Give it
read
a year. We'll be
all
doing,
right.
yeah, because I like the engagement we got from it. But
We got a lot. Thank
mhm,
you everybody. We got a lot of engagement. And even if you guys were being spiteful assholes, keep commenting. That's cool.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I've had fun with it. Definitely looking at it differently though, where it made me look at it differently 20
hmm
years later. Yeah, let's not do it again.
Yeah, that sounds good. It was fun, but I'm excited to wrap it, that's for sure, because they really aren't my favorites either. You know what I mean? They're
No.
entertaining, but it's not like I was like, okay, can't wait to watch it. Now, when we were doing True Detective, it's like, okay, let me get some popcorn and some sodas, sit
Yep,
back.
absolutely.
Didn't
I
really
just
have
don't see
that
the
excitement
appeal. Yeah,
for Star Wars,
I don't see the appeal either, honestly.
Everybody watching. Once again, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like, subscribe. Once again, one away from 50. We are so excited for that. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, be number 50. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
I see you, bro.